Hey guys, what's going on? Akinola here. I am joined by my friend Dylan, and we're going to talk a little bit about our thoughts and reactions to the latest Nintendo Direct. We haven't seen a Direct in a year. It feels like forever, but with COVID and everything going on in the world, it was really nice to see that announcement out of the blue, like the day before. And so I was like, why don't we just talk about it? Talk about what we thought, because I'm sure that you watching had your thoughts on Twitter, but I was like, let's articulate these in a longer format. So if you feel like watching a couple gamers just shoot the shit for a little bit about how the Smash reveal was and other things like that, then you come to the right place. So just sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Dylan, longtime friend from college, game aficionado. This man loves Earthbound more than anybody else I know. And
This is true.
yeah, he fighting game sparring partners for the longest time. So who else better to talk to about these game topics that have split a variety of people? So we're just going to jump right into it. Smash Brothers, the top of the docket. I figured there'd be some sort of information about a character, but at the top of the show, that was a little unexpected. So Pyra, Mithra, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Huge game came out of Japan. One of the hottest RPGs to grace the Switch. But I have not played Xenoblade. I mean, the only information I know about Xenoblade is about Shulk and all the memes that have resulted from that. But the information that I've gathered from there is big titty waifu, and you
That's
have
more or less what it is.
yeah, right. So Dylan, why don't you talk to me about why this is such a big deal? Because
Okay, to fill you in on my backstory a little bit, when Smash 4 was coming out and they announced Shulk, I had no idea who he was. I knew the game Xenoblade Chronicles, didn't play it. So when they announced Shulk, I was like, okay, I gotta play it. I have a tradition of beating every game that every character from Smash is in. So I was like, all right, well, gotta do it. So I picked up a copy of Xenoblade Chronicles 1 for the Wii. And as soon as I started, like this just the intro sequence, like the first tutorial mission opening area, I was pretty hooked. Voice acting was really incredible, especially for the time and the Wii. Shulk wasn't a meme. In Smash he has backslash, and I'm really feeling it. Backslash is his worst move, and you get rid of it almost immediately. So Smash 4 had a pretty bad representation of what a cool character Shulk really is. And to put it shortly, the Xenoblade Chronicles 1, amazing game. Loved it. I didn't play Xenoblade Chronicles X. And then so when Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was coming out, I was really pumped. I was like, we're going into this. This is going to be hype as hell. Picked it up day one, popped it in, hated it. Definitely nothing like the first game. And it's a little sad because this is the best selling game in the Xeno franchise of all time, by far. Not saying the game doesn't have anything good, which we can go into what is good about Xenoblade Chronicles 2 later on if you want. But for me, that always left a big stain on me, the whole Xenoblade Chronicles 2 experience, just because of what a downgrade I thought it was from the first game. After 30 hours of playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I just got rid of. I resold it and moved on. So now when they announced Pyra, I'm on the side that's boo Pyra, boo this whole big titty waifu thing. But I don't know, man. It's a love-hate relationship because on one hand, it's the best-selling Xeno game of all time. It's introducing a lot more people to like the JRPG. I put in quotes because of just how the game kind of plays with the JRPG genre. And it's very apparent why this game is selling well. Like, it's appealing to two things everybody likes, like gambling and big titty waifus. It's just like people horny for anime. Like, it's not just the women in the game. Like, there's like male blades in there that I'm sure people will be husbandos with and whatnot. But it's just such a far cry from what I think made the first game so great. I am replaying it. I just rebought it, and the DLC because I got to play through it all. Got to do my due diligence. So I'll let you know in about another 120 hours what I think of it. But I was not hyped for the reveal. I thought for sure it was going to I was actually thinking who could they reveal that would disappoint me and a lot of other Smash people I know. And like Byleth, Pyra wasn't even on my mind. So I got blindsided twice so far with this TLC pick. I'm happy people like Pyra. There's so much more people that are happy about Pyra and Mythra than they were about Byleth. But man, it's a motherfucker out there, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I was not super crazy about it. I mean, I tweeted that I think from just a character in Smash, it looks cool. We haven't had a character change character in a long time, so that aspect could be cool. I was just really, really pissed that it was another goddamn sword character. I don't know what it is with Sakurai and sword characters. I think we have
this
enough
time.
of them.
See, here's the thing. This time he didn't put in a sword character. He put the sword in the game. Pyra is the sword. If you don't know that,
I'm gonna.
She's
kill
like
myself.
she's like the soul of the sword, and Mythra and her are the same person, the same sword. What I don't know. I haven't gotten to the Mythra part yet, but she is the sword. So Sakurai's evolving.
It's fine, I guess. Clearly there's a demographic for this type of thing, and I'm happy for the people, just like you said, who Pyra's in there. I don't care about any JRPG people, all the Fire Emblem people. If they were all removed from the game, I wouldn't give two shits. I don't care. But it shows you how just loved the franchise is. Maybe one of these days I'll play it. This year's not going to be one of those years. There's too many other things that I want to play. So good for Pyra / Mythra. They look good. They've got the assets that will make them shine on stage. Whatever. More power to them. I think we could talk about something that I think we both be excited about. That's Project Triangle Strategy from Square Enix. Same makers of Octopath Traveler, Bravely Default. They love shapes and underlining their titles, and the demo dropped right after the Direct. And it's funny because I was just at your house a couple weeks ago, and you showed me Fire Emblem, and we have a strategy RPG.
That was perfect, right?
The timing was very sweet. I played the shit out of that demo, and it made me realize how shitty I am at those games. But it was an enjoyable time, and I like the way that they're going about it. It's not just your run-of-the-mill strategy game. You can recruit people, and apparently the choices that you make throughout the game are going to affect how the narrative plays out. So we got to see a little bit of that, and I like the way that turned out and the potential about how that can affect the story. So I'm curious, Dylan, what did you think about it? Did you play the demo? How does it compare to other games like Fire Emblem, since you've played these types of games for years? So you've got the knowledge behind it. Do you think it has potential to be a good tactical RPG?
So I've actually not played the demo. Okay. I have the demo on my Switch. I'm actually looking at it right now. I could play it right now while we
play
but instead of live tweeting what I think right now, I will say from what I've seen, it does look good. Obviously visually it looks incredible. I think if they're going to go this retro route, this is the right move for it. People really like impressive sprite work, but people also like prettier backset designs. Having a cute-looking sprite character, you see cute-looking sprite characters everywhere, but the only real appreciation on Twitter and other art sites for backdrops are really, really well done. So having a crappy backdrop / environment you're in really makes I think something look not cheap, but played.
Yeah.
We see a lot of this retro look everywhere now, and it is a bit played. But aside from the visuals, from what I've seen, it does look good. It obviously has a very, very, very strong Final Fantasy Tactics feel to it, just from the way the characters move, to the battlefields. Project Triangle leads me to believe like Fire Emblem, there is some sort of triangle system of what elements might be stronger than others, which I showed in the video, how you can kind of chain things together. That's really all you need for a good tactical JRPG in it, essentially. But yeah, I don't really know too much more about it as of right now.
From the few hours that I put into it, I mean, they throw you in the middle of the game, right? And they're all battling for some sort of element that means everything in the world. There are like three different kingdoms, and I don't want to ruin the story, but some bad guy comes in, messes things up for everybody, and the two main characters are like the son of the king and some other dude. But some shit goes down. You have to fight a huge army, and you actually get to play the stage that was featured in the direct, where they have to set things on fire, to set a town on fire, and just the presentation is something like. If you were a fan of Bravely Default or Octopath Traveler, that same art style can be found. You'll notice that when you talk to NPCs or important people, you can hit the X button and you'll see like character art in that like watercolor style that's so popular with those types of games. So I thought that was really cool. You can see who definitely the evil people are, the good people are, and I used your knowledge from the 10 minutes of Fire Emblem that I played. One of the people that you can play rides on a bird and is your ranged unit. So I learned that you can't if you have a bow. I don't know how it is in Fire Emblem, but if somebody is one square in front of you, you can't attack them. You have to have like a gap. That took
Fire Emblem. Yep.
Yeah, that took some getting used to. I had a guy on a horse. He could move the furthest out of everybody, so that was really cool. He had a spear, and just elemental wise, there was an ice attack that reduced movement and chance to hit, so that was really cool. I didn't get a chance to use the fire magic too much, but I had a healer, a ranged unit, a tank, like a black mage, a white mage who like buffed your party. There's like 9-10 different units that you can play, and so there was a lot to absorb in those few hours, but the chaining of attacks and other really cool things that you could do, learning information, learning about the story. I think it's going to be a game that I spend like 200 hours on. I spent like 100 hours on Octopath Traveler, and that game was way more fun than I ever thought it would be. So if they can nail the story down, because I think that was one big miss in Octopath Traveler, I think they have another banger on their hands. So I feel like you should definitely get a chance to play that after we finish talking.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see what you think.
Word, definitely.
Moving right along, Legend of Zelda. So they baited us, really thought we were going to get Breath of the Wild 2 news.
Dude, they made a YouTube apology video.
Yeah, they
like,
know
I'm
they
so
fucked
sorry.
up. Why would you put Eiji Aonuma there and then be like, sorry guys, we don't have anything. Just show Skyward Sword, and no one would have said anything. So that kind of hurt, but I didn't hear about that. That's interesting. So he straight up told us, no Breath of the Wild 2 news yet, but development is going on, and we'll hear something when it's ready. After the success of Breath of the Wild, I feel like the sky is the limit, especially since that game was originally built on like Wii U hardware. And so a Breath of the Wild 2 built up on Switch, my body's not ready. So instead they gave us an HD remaster of Skyward Sword, a game that I really didn't get a chance to fully commit to, and a game that I stayed away from because of motion controls. I think they're the devil. I don't think they belong in video games at all. I can't stand them. Dylan, did you play Skyward Sword?
Nope, same position as you, man. I was like, man, fuck this stupid goddamn motion control shit. The motion control stuff was the awkward teenage years of gaming, and it really took Nintendo a while to actually realize, you know what? We don't need this. I was just singing the praises of Xenoblade Chronicles 1. It's probably the best game on the Wii. You have to have a pro controller to play it. There is no way to play without that. So their best game was like, don't even worry about it. Yeah. Like with the motion controls, their entire console's gimmick. Yeah. So that being said, no, I didn't play Skyward Sword. I will play it because I haven't played it, and I like the Zelda story. I know it's the first game in the series, so it'd be kind of cool to see all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, why not?
Yeah. After the only exposure to Skyward Sword that I got was, playing Hyrule Warriors and hearing remix tracks from that, and the music, like any other Zelda game, seems really good. The villain was really interesting, and I can appreciate what they tried to do with the motion controls. It changed combat completely, but after playing Breath of the Wild and wanting to throw my Switch across the room every time I went across a puzzle, that require gyro controls. I'm just like, how do people who have like a disability or Parkinson's or having trouble gripping things or keeping things still complete these puzzles? So
Man, it's Japan. They don't care about that.
I told myself the only way I'll buy this game is if they remove them. And luckily, by the end of that presentation, they said, you have the option to play without motion controls. You can just use the right stick. It's whatever. It's like, all right, cool. So I can give this game a fair chance because, yeah, I did skip it on the Wii U, on the Wii U, and it just, that was a big complaint with a lot of my friends. And they have another Joy-Con styled Skyward Sword themed. It's going to be, way too expensive, and the Joy-Con control stick's going to give out in like a year. But I'm a fiend for styled Joy-Cons. I mean, the only ones that I have are the red-blue ones originally, but I've got friends who got the Splatoon-colored ones and limited edition ones from stuff outside Japan. So I'll probably end up picking that up, and we'll see what happens. On the docket next, Splatoon 3. I'll tell you right now, I don't give a shit about this game.
Same, fuck it. Go next on the docket.
we're just gonna go. If you like Splatoon, that's cool. They had to have some sort of third-person shooter that was not violent. I played it. I like it. It's just not for me. That's fine. The music is fantastic, though. I will give it that. Yes. For anybody who's excited about Splatoon, all the more power to you. Monster Hunter Rise. So I'm a new Monster Hunter fan. All right.
Yes.
I know you and your friends have been playing Monster Hunter for years, and you know about it more than I do. And I've learned some tips from your brother and a whole bunch of other people. My first Monster Hunter was World. I still have to play through that, but I'm like, wow, why didn't I play this before? It's like playing an MMO by yourself, which is I'm all about. Just killing giant monsters for sport. And World was the perfect game to introduce a lot of people to that. And I saw a demo of Monster Hunter Rise being played around, like Maximilian Dude played it, and it looked like it ran really well on the Switch. Dylan, how do you feel about this newest version of Monster Hunter?
Did you play the demo for Rise? It's on the Switch.
Is it? No, I didn't play it at all.
Yeah, there's a demo on it. Yeah, so you can play it. Like you said, World is probably the best game to introduce anybody to Monster Hunter. They added a lot of quality of life things in there, which seem to mostly all be in Rise as well. A big reason Monster Hunter was so hard to get into for a lot of people was that there was just a lot of little annoyances that would happen, like, you need to bring pickaxes to mine, stuff like that. In World, it's just like you can just mine whatever, like you got infinite pickaxes with you all the time, like so like they streamlined a lot of stuff, kind of like how the Persona series has been streamlined from the modern Persona series has been streamlined from like Persona 3 to Persona 5. A lot of those annoyances from 3 are gone now.
Yeah.
So Monster Hunter World is the same thing. Going into Rise seems like we have a lot of this similar things happening. The one criticism I have on Rise, which isn't really that big a criticism, is that it just doesn't look as good as World. And like World, is made for next gen consoles, or current gen consoles at the time, and for the PC. Rise is on the Switch, so like it doesn't look as good, but really everything else looks better. Another criticism with World was that a lot of the monsters were very similar. There's just traditionally in the Monster Hunter series, there's like, big monkeys and, big like cat looking things and, a big worm or whatever. World had a lot of just very similar looking monsters. While in the other games in the series and in Rise, we're getting a lot more of a different variety. So it's not just like wyverns and like bird wyverns and gaily little wyverns. It's just like a big monkey and a cat or a leopard and stuff like that. A big bear. So it's bringing back the monster variety, which is pretty cool. And they're bringing back essentially like weapon arts. It looks like. So in World, you had, all the weapons you could use that could have their different playstyles, abilities. But in the other games, a lot of the other games, you can kind of go with like other talent trees almost, where, you could be a hammer user, but a hammer user that did this, or a hammer user that did that. So it kind of changed your playstyle, which World didn't have either. So I would say anybody who likes World should really do themselves a favor and play Rise, because you'll definitely enjoy it. Demos on the Switch, kicks ass. And as long as Nintendo doesn't mess up the online, which it's not looking like they're going to, It'll be a fun experience. I don't know if you heard about the Nintendo updating their online servers, and Rise is going to be the first game to use the new servers.
No, well, I read like a snippet, but didn't know
Yeah.
what that entailed.
So it's funny because there was like um inside the Rise, whatever they mined from the Rise demo or Splatoon demo, I think it was Splatoon. There was an unused code or folder of like the game running on like Windows XP or something.
Oh gosh.
So like they're like Nintendo hasn't updated their like servers in like 10, 15 years or something, and now they're doing it, and the Rise is going to be the first game on that. So fingers crossed that Rise will be a good online experience, because that's the best online experience. You know, playing by yourself is okay, Monster Hunter, but getting a group of people to take down a huge monster, you can do that for hours, and it's always going to be a new experience.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to that because it did look like I was watching people play it, and I was like, wow, this is running like actually really well on the Switch. Like, I know the graphics are a little, they're not as good as World, but it still looks like I didn't see any slowdown. Things were really smooth, and the combat looked really engaging. And you know, as a hammer user myself, I hate things that fly, so hopefully there are still slopes and stuff I can like jump off of. I don't know why you can't just jump in Monster Hunter. I don't know.
So in this new game, you get essentially a grappling hook at all times, so you can just jump now almost whenever as the hammer user. You don't even need a slope.
All right, day one purchase. That's why I need it, because I remember playing World and I fought this giant pink puffball thing. And I was fighting it for like 40 minutes. It's like,
the Pal Mumu or whatever.
I was like, you motherfucker, you're lucky you can fly. Otherwise, this would have been over already. So yeah, being a hammer user sucks for that instance. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, so there's a lot of JRPGs announced, whether they were remakes or new releases. You know, there's Secret of Mana, there's Danganronpa. There's a lot of JRPGs representation in this presentation. You know, Xenoblade Chronicles. Is there too much RPG action going on? There's a lot of people were pissed that, don't you have anything else to talk about? Like, even I thought it was a little too much.
Master Race Gaming, our JRPGs, the best.
Like, come on, like, I know like the Switch is the indie machine, but you really have nothing else you're working on. So like,
you're kind of cutting out.
Oh, do you really feel like did they talk too much about JRPGs?
All right, well, what JRPGs did they mention? I'm going to like pull up a game list of all the games they mentioned. So Project Triangle Strategy.
Yeah, so yeah, Project Triangle Strategy.
Worst title ever made. I'm sorry, still. Literally just say Untitled Strategy Project, or just like Strategy, or just Triangle. Triangle would have been better. Either way, okay. So we got that. Okay, cool. We got that. Good game. Whatever.
There's Xenoblade Chronicles 2 in Smash, so more JRPG representation.
Okay, sure.
What else we got? So we have what is it? Where is it? There's a Legend of Mana remaster. So that came out on
so far we only have one new game they announced so far.
Right. What else? The World's End Club. So I guess that's
is that the one that's made by like the Danganronpa people?
I guess so. Yeah, there's some sort of weird looking remix game.
I don't even know what that's supposed to be. I've never played any of them. Are they like a visual novel game or something?
I guess
I have no idea.
The description reads: you and 11 others, known as the Go-Getters Club, set off on a captivating journey across Japan and experience an adventure that blends side-scrolling action with a suspenseful narrative. I don't know. I guess Danganronpa is like, it's like, it almost reminds me of a Telltale, in which is like,
I wouldn't say that's like an RPG. It's anime, but it's not RPG.
Okay. Bravely Default 2. They had a trailer there.
Yes, but they've been talking about that game openly for a long time. Like, we all know it's coming very soon. So I feel like that's kind of like grandfathered in at this point. It comes out like this month or something.
It's just, I feel like,
just Nintendo babies crying for no reason. Where's my Persona 5 on Switch? Like, grow up.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to hear other games, but it's fine. You can't.
Well, we did get a bunch of other games, though.
Yeah, I guess
Like,
yeah, there's No More Heroes. No More Heroes
let's go.
3 is supposed to come out, and I haven't played No More Heroes 2. I'm actually replaying the first one, and I'm remembering how good it was. And the last time I played No More Heroes was on Wii, and that was
Yeah,
I was like,
college,
yeah,
dude.
it's a long fucking time. So to have something, because it got remade, it got an HD upgrade for PlayStation 3, and
Yes, No More Heroes Paradise.
yes. So I feel like, all right, cool. I'm playing like the optimal version. I don't have to worry about motion controls or anything. I can just flick the stick, and the load times are good. And I've got No More Heroes 2 to play. I haven't played that. No More Heroes 3. It seems like Travis versus Aliens, and also
Yes.
it doesn't look that. It doesn't for me. I'm not super excited about it. It doesn't look that good. What do you think?
Well,
about
it looks like okay. So certain things we have to realize here. One, all Suda 51's games always look terrible. They have never looked good for the console they're on. That's just the way it is, and I don't hate that. It adds to the charm. It's its own unique look to the game. But yeah, like going into this thinking that No More Heroes is going to look good, I think a lot of people set themselves up for failure.
It looks like a PS3 game. Like
Good. That's better than I thought it was going to look, man. For a Switch game, looks sweet. PS3 looking No More Heroes. Pog. Oh, I want that. Yeah, like I don't like. Again, bad graphics won't also like mess with me either. A lot of people were Hyper Deadly Premonition 2, and that game looks even worse.
Yeah,
And their fans were just like, yeah, it looks like shit. I love it. So I can relate to that. Yeah, oh my god, No More Heroes 2 looks suboptimal. Sweet.
yeah, at least we're getting the game, right? So I guess we should
Yeah,
be
we're
just
getting
happy.
the game. No, yeah, I'm a little disappointed they brought back the like fucking No More Heroes 1 style mini games. They're just doing like side missions and like cutting people's lawns and scooping cat litter and stupid shit like that. Like, would have liked to have seen a little bit of a change up because No More Heroes 2, they did it with NES style mini games, which is pretty fun. This time it looks like they're just going back to No More Heroes 1 strategy, which I'm a little bummed for, but I'm still going to get it. Still day one purchase. Travis was my most wanted character for Smash, so
there's still hope.
let's fucking get it.
I'm hoping that he will show up in some aspect and deal with Bayonetta. He'll have special lines for Bayonetta because that'd probably be his main target.
True. I think it's just more likely if we get a new Smash game, he'd be added at this point.
Yeah, he has.
But I really want to have the Smash trailer where he's like, "I'm fighting the Super Mario." Then I go like, and he'd be like, "These Smash babies don't even know what hit them."
Yeah, the voiceover would be priceless. I think that's why we love it so much because it's so out there and so self-aware of how ridiculous it is.
Travis Touchdown is a very entertaining character. You play it for him. He's such an outrageous modern day samurai. It's very entertaining.
All right, so we rounded out all the parts of the direct that I feel were the most important. There were some games that we're hoping to see. So if you could redo the direct, what types of information were you really hoping to see from the direct? For me, like, I really wanted Metroid Prime 4 news, and I'm torn on it for a couple of reasons. One, they spent all of this time initially developing Metroid Prime 4. I guess for some stupid reason they were like, we're gonna not give it to Retro Studios, we're gonna do our own thing. And then a year into development, they're like, this is garbage, we have to start over. And so they gave it to Retro Studios. I see job stuff happening all the time about people developing and art people. I know it's for Metroid Prime 4. So there's like the last Metroid thing that we got was the Metroid 2 remake on 3DS, which is actually really enjoyable because I never played the original Metroid 2. So I thought that was really enjoyable, but like a fully fledged 3D Metroid, I mean, Metroid Prime redefined Metroid for the modern age, and I really thought the presentation was super great. We never saw Samus in that way before, so I'm among dozens of Metroid fans where I am itching for any sort of news whatsoever. So it was really disappointing to hear that there's nothing there so far. Hopefully by the time half a year comes around that something will come. I don't care if it's a teaser, trailer, some sort of art. Like I need something. All right, Yeah,
I feel like they're like really holding the Metroid fans back at this point. Not really holding them back. Sorry, I feel like they're really just letting them down for reasons that they don't even need to at this point. Like Earthbound fans have it better because Earthbound fans know their franchise is dead. Toei doesn't want to work on the game anymore, the series anymore, and Earthbound fans know it. But Metroid, they still give you this little carrot of hope, and it's just a what if this time. Oh,
yeah.
And I feel like they should just do another YouTube apology video for Metroid. Like they have to. I feel bad for them.
It's
the Metroid fans.
Like seriously, you have one of your. This is just a franchise as storied as Zelda. Maybe it hasn't sold as well, but I feel like you haven't tried all that much. I mean, 35th anniversary is coming up. They're probably not going to do anything.
Bro, it was Zelda's 35th anniversary yesterday or some shit. Like they like sent out a tweet. It's like, "Happy birthday, Zelda."
It's like, how old am I going to have to be? Do I have to wait to the 50th anniversary to have some true Metroid representation? I don't want to have one foot in the ground before that happens. Come on, man. I'm not getting any younger over here. What games would you have liked to see or hear from Direct? That you
the only one I really wanted to hear from that I was disappointed that we haven't really gotten any news is Hollow Knight Silk Song. It's probably like my most anticipated game for the Switch, other than No More Heroes 3 at this point, and Breath of the Wild 2. But yeah, I was really hoping to get some news about Silk Song, but really, Team Cherry is really like not saying too much either. And the first Hollow Knight is probably one of my top 10 games of all time, so I really just need more Hollow Knight news. I have a Hollow Knight crocheted big boy over there. That's how much I love him.
Yeah, Hollow Knight, coming from like I'm a huge Metroidvania. I hate that genre title. I think there's a better way to describe it, but that type of exploration of backtracking. I never played Hollow Knight. There were times where I was like, this is too hard. But as I held on and kept exploring, I was like, this is one of the best games I've ever played in my life. The presentation is out of this world. The music is really good. The bosses were really enjoyable to play against. And
man,
the fights against Hornet, I was like, whoa, all right. She means business.
It's bug Dark Souls.
Yeah,
that's what I love. I loved about it.
Yeah. So I'm really excited. We're still waiting on news, and it's one of the most anticipated indie games. I kind of just blew up out of nowhere. Like my friend just suggested me, you should play Hollow Knight. I was like, okay. And then I would for hours, I'd go into Deep Nest. I'm like, why would anyone make this zone? And then when I got the tools I needed to go, I was like, all right, I understand why I couldn't just go there in the dark. I was like, this zone is the worst zone of all the video games. Why would, oh, jeez, man. But I'll always remember that, like, just the amount of fun. And the Coliseum, there's the ridiculous replay value. The lore is really good and really creepy. Just the vibe it gives off is it's deserving of all the accolades that it's gotten. So Silksong needs to come out like yesterday.
And we need the Night Me costume in Smash already. Come on, Sakurai, please.
Yes. So yeah, Nintendo Direct overall, I give it like a 6.5 out of 10. I mean, it was okay.
I definitely think it's like a 3 or 4 out of 10 for sure. I actually said 4, and then the people I was watching it with said 3 and bullied me down to 3. So it goes between 3 and 4.
Oh Jesus! All right, guys. I want to thank you very much for listening or watching whatever medium you use to consume this content. If you're watching on YouTube, leave a like. You can find Dylan's social media on the screen, and I'll leave a link to his channel below. He does make video game related commentary that I think that you'll be interested in. We're going to try and do this once a week. Just got to find shit to talk about. So if you made it to the end, thank you very much. You guys are awesome. We'll see you guys next time. Don't do anything stupid. We'll see you later.
All right. Peace, guys.